I don't live in fear, and neither should you, right? When we think of the feeling of fear, right? Is it a negative feeling? Is it a positive feeling? Does it depend on your mindset? I think it depends on your mindset, right? When I think of fear, I don't think sometimes it could be used for negative. I think sometimes it could be used for positive too, right? Sometimes you could have a fear of being unsuccessful, and that could push you to work harder. You have a fear of being alone, and that could push you to develop healthier relationships with people. It's about the mindset and the framework when you're looking at a feeling of fear, depending on how you look at it. Right. Now, I don't live in fear though. Right. There's a lot of guys out there that live in fear. Right. Now, what do I mean by that? When I say guys that live in fear, I'm saying some guys have a fear of being rejected from something, that they're underqualified, they won't apply, they won't even try to even get their foot on the door. They have that fear of rejection, right? They might have a fear of being accepted, all right? Of not being accepted, so they won't even try. So, I don't live in fear though, right? Because there are some people that live in fear. And when we think about someone who locks themselves up in their house, that doesn't want to go to work, that doesn't want to give their chances when it comes to women, when it comes to opportunities, because they're afraid something bad might happen to them, or they're afraid it might not work out. And that is part of the deal, my friend. It is part of the deal when you go out there in the world and you put your foot in the water. There is a chance when you put your foot in the water, let's say you're by a lake. If you put your foot in the water and you venture out into the lake, there's a chance you might hit a sandbar, the floor collapses, and you fall like 6 feet deeper. There's a chance there's some type of gator nearby or something like that, and something's gonna happen there. There's a chance that there's a current that's gonna sweep you in, right? There's all sorts of things that can happen to you if you're by a lake and you step your foot in the water, but you want to step your foot in the water, right? So we accept the basic idea that if you exist in the world and you want to take your chances in terms of success, there is a swing side to that. You want to have something good happen to you, there is a swing. What goes up must come down, right? There is a risk, there is liability. When you take a chance, it could go right, it could also go wrong, right? And that is the beautiful thing about life, about not living in fear, right? You must not live in fear. You must overcome you must overcome your fears in order to even stand a chance at venturing out the world and accomplish things, right? Now, I don't live in fear, right? Because what's worse than that, than someone who ventures out into the world and might have some bad things happen to them, what's worse than that is someone who never takes their chance to begin with when it comes to things. Someone who doesn't take their chances to begin with when it comes to those things. And you're gonna realize that in the general sense, a guy who kind of locks himself in his house and is afraid to venture out into the world, he's way worse off than someone who kind of takes their chances when it comes to things and might have a couple bad things happen to them. Because it's pretty much a guarantee that any guy that doesn't take chances in this world is a guarantee he's not going to have anything good happen to him. Now, a guy who takes his chances out there in the world and likes to take risks here and there, for sure, it's almost a guarantee that he'll have some bad things happen to him sometimes, but it's almost a guarantee that he'll have some good things happen to him sometimes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is part of the deal. Yeah.